Hello everyone, Chance here. We'll be talking about the FAMAS in this breakdown, and if you want to request a weapon for the next episode, please leave it down below. Call of Duty Ghosts, Battlefield 4, and then give your weapon, and I'll use it in the next episode. So let's get into these stats. The FAMAS has a maximum damage of 25 and a minimum damage of 18, which means it can kill in 4 to 6 shots, which I know in my previous Battlefield 4 breakdown video I said all the assault rifles have the same damage module, except for the Scar H, of course. It has a 34 by 25 damage, I believe, and it gets that little damage buff because it has a very small magazine and it has a very, very low rate of fire. And that's kind of the way DICE balances out their games, is even though they have the same damage module opposed to Scar H, but it's just even though they have the same damage module, the way they balance this is through muzzle velocity and recoil and magazine size and rounds per minute and range and stuff, and it makes it a little bit more unique in how creative you can get with these weapons and how much personality you can actually give them. Like in the FAMAS' case, it doesn't have a lot of things going for it. It drops off at a 5-shot kill at only 8 meters, which is very, very poor. You would think for it being an assault rifle, it would at least have some decent range, but it doesn't. Not only that, it only has a 26-round magazine size. And then another weird statistic about this weapon is it has 1,000 rounds per minute rate of fire, which is the highest out of all the assault rifles. So when you get a gun that has very poor iron sights, with only a 26-round magazine, has very, very poor range, and then you slap 1,000 rounds per minute on this gun's going to kick a lot. This gun has so much recoil that it's honestly very frustrating. It is kind of manageable at times, but if you're shooting at range, you're fucked. There's no way you are going to be able to hit long-range targets with this gun, especially for how bad of range it has and how much recoil and how small of a magazine size it is. You're pretty much just stuck with this weapon in any close-quarter engagements. And I feel it's only necessary to get onto the reload times with this weapon because this is another poor thing about it. It has the second worst, I guess. Let me explain this for a second. It has the worst long reload time, but it has the second worst short reload time. And if you don't know what long reload times are, long reload time is when you have 0 rounds left in your gun and you have to put a clip in and then pull the bolt back. Short reload is when you have a few bolts left, so you just have to put a clip in and you don't have to pull the bolt back because there's already a round rifled into the chamber. With that being said, the FAMAS has a 3.55 long reload time and a 2.8 second short reload time, which is very, very frustrating because all these stats don't make this gun any good, I don't feel, in my opinion. It has a lot of recoil, has very poor iron sights, has a small magazine size, has a very long reload time, and it's just, on top of that, you give it 1,000 rounds per minute, which itself is a con if you think about it. That's not necessarily a good thing. 1,000 rounds is good in a close quarters engagement, I would feel, but you burn through your ammo so fast. It's such a high rate of fire that you're catching yourself just trying to single shot it because it's so fast that it'll kick up too much and throw you off track. And every stat about this gun is almost a con. It's just pretty much an unusable weapon at this point unless you're in a very close quarters engagement. And I feel the only people that will use this gun are people who are just trying to find something different, trying to have fun, trying to use weird, unique setups, and also people who like the way it looks and likes the way it sounds and its reload animation. Because with myself, I use some weapons that aren't very good at all, but I like them because I like the way it sounds, I like the way it looks, I like its reload animation, its recoil patterns, those little eye candies in the games that sometimes people like and they like to use those weapons. And I feel this is one of those guns that the only time you can actually really enjoy it is just if you actually like the weapon itself. This is not a very good weapon. In the right hands, it might be a very stellar weapon. I never know. In my hands, I do alright, I guess. Now, not the best. In a Conquest Large game mode, I get my ass kicked. I'll go negative every time, and I just get demolished. And at the end of these breakdown videos, I like to give the weapons or equipment a rating from 1 to 10 based on my own preference. If you feel it deserves higher or lower, please leave your comment down below. But I'm going to have to give the FAMAS a 6.1 out of 10. Which is honestly a lot higher than I would have given it, but I feel in some engagements it is very useful because it's high rate of fire, but for the most part it's a very poor weapon. It was going to be a lot lower, but I had to give it its credit in close quartersness, so that's why it was a 6.1. But if you guys want to leave a comment down below on what you thought it would be, and also leave a comment down below of a weapon that you want me to use in the next episode, that'd be much appreciated. You guys be safe, take care, and have a great day. See ya.